Today, September 20th, marks the 10th anniversary of Beaumont Hospital's Sharing and Caring program, a program designed to support breast cancer patients emotionally as they go through treatment and recovery. I'm here with a long-term survivor, Arlene Selleck, and Arlene has been a part of this program since the beginning. Arlene, tell us about your first breast cancer experience and just what has happened in the last decade of your life.
I was first diagnosed in 94 with a very small tumor. So I had my lumpectomy and radiation, and I was, other than a couple of scares in between, for 12 years cancer-free, and then was diagnosed again in 06. Right after that, was diagnosed for the third time. But I went to all of their educational lectures. I wanted to learn from the very beginning, when I first started. That was important to me. The more information you have, the more you have the fuel to fight.
Following her own diagnosis with breast cancer about 10 years ago, Jody Peterson decided to put an endowment together that began the Sharing and Caring program. And I'm here with Leslie, her daughter. Together with Dr. Ingold, I know that your mom was interested in providing the financial ability to start this program, but what else really motivated her?
She was very much interested in having just the whole total educational aspect of it. Learning more, also supporting, not necessarily support groups, but it also has support groups, but just getting navigated through the whole program from diagnosis to afterwards.
I'm Dr. Dana Zakulik. I'm a medical oncologist with a subspecialty in breast oncology, and I take care of patients who have breast cancer at Beaumont hospitals. I'm involved in clinical activities, and I also direct the cancer genetics program, where we do genetic testing to identify who carries a gene for a susceptibility to breast cancer. I've been involved with Sharing and Caring as a board member, as well as a physician who gives lectures to the Sharing and Caring group on various breast cancer-related topics. And I can say wholeheartedly that Sharing and Caring has been a tremendous asset to the breast cancer community, both within Beaumont and outside. Sharing and Caring provides tremendously valuable educational symposia. So in addition to educating patients, I think Sharing and Caring has a tremendously beneficial role providing support, both emotional support as well as advocacy for breast cancer patients.
The keynote speaker today for the 10th anniversary of Sharing and Caring is Ann Thompson from NBC News, a breast cancer survivor and someone who has decided, as a result of her diagnosis, to live fearlessly. Ann, tell us a little bit about what living fearlessly means.
Well, Molly, like many breast cancer survivors, once I got through all my treatment, I had a scare, and they thought the cancer was back, and it just paralyzed me. And luckily, it was a false alarm. But it really got me thinking. I thought, how do I live with this? And I decided that instead of living in fear, I would live fearlessly. And for me, that means you just enjoy every single day, and you treat each day as it could be the last day of your life, and that's something that breast cancer survivors confront when they go through treatment. And I've really found that I ended up simplifying my life after my treatment, because I realized that there were so many things that cluttered my life that really weren't important.
This Sharing and Caring program has two components. Why don't you talk about what those are and how you found support in those areas in your community?
Well, one is education, and that's crucially important for anybody who is going through breast cancer treatment. And so I went and found doctors who encouraged me to become as educated as I possibly could. I was making the decisions because it's the rest of my life. It's not the rest of their lives. It's the rest of my life, and I need to figure out what I can live with. The other part that's equally important is support. And I read survivor stories, and I found that in each survivor story, I learned a little something. And I think that's the important thing about a support group, because there are things that only survivors can tell you. And that's where survivors really make a huge difference, because they've been there, they've lived, and they have knowledge that's invaluable.